Hello students, this is Amardeep Singh, your ICT teacher, and today we will discuss about second part of cascading style sheets, lesson 6. So let's get start. The topics that we will discuss today are meaning of cascading, using inline styles, and CSS syntax. So first we'll discuss about what is cascading. Cascading means that a hierarchical order in which different style sheets types are arranged so that the latest style sheet takes the priority on the earliest one. That means we can change the default style of a tag by defining a style rule in style sheet. So as we know that in HTML each and every tag is having a specific style, and that means when we are using a tag in HTML without defining any attribute, the style of the default style of that tag will be implemented on in HTML. For example, here we are using, let's suppose we are using h1, h3 or anything else, h3, h here I will use p tag for defining a paragraph. Now, if you want to change the default style of these tags, then you have to define a customized style for these tags that will override the existing style of any HTML tag. So by using cascading style sheets, we can change the default style of any tag with using style sheets. So as we discussed in previous chapter, we can uh, change the default setting of any tag by using attributes. That was the formal way, that was the previous way to change the to make some changes in the style of any tag by using attribute. And how we were using attribute previously in previous chapters, assigning a value to attribute, how we can assign attribute equal to value. For example, body tag we are having bg color, then bg color is equal to the name of color. But in present uh, life, the HTML attributes are replaced by the style sheets. Each and nobody is using HTML attributes in the market, in profession, in web development. So everyone is using style sheets to make any change in the style of any tag. So that means with the help of cascading style sheets, we can make changes in the style of in the default style of any tag. In style sheets we are using properties instead of attributes. So the minor difference is that instead of using attributes we can use properties, and we have to assign value to that property by using this colon operator, and same set of properties can be used with any tag inside HTML. For example, when we talk about attributes, then each and every tag is having a different set of attributes. For example, img tag is having src, then height, width, etc. But body tag is having a bg color, text, a link, v link, etc. These kind of attributes. But when we talk about the style sheets, then we are having a same set of properties for each and every tag in HTML. Next, we will discuss how to use these these properties. And so first we'll discuss how to use styles. So we are having so many different ways to use style in a HTML document. We can define a style by using style keyword as attribute, that is known as inline style also. When we are using style keyword as an attribute with any tag, then that type of style is known as inline style. And other types of style that we can use, those are known as the style sheets or style rules, or as written here, that or by defining complete style rule inside a style sheet. That means we are having basically two different ways uh, to change the style of any tag that is, one is inline style, then second one is by using by defining a style rule inside the style sheet. And style sheets further categorized into two types, internal or external style sheet, but we'll discuss in later. For the time we'll discuss about only inline style, how to define an inline style. In case of inline style, we will use style keyword as attribute with any tag. For example, this one is the syntax of using. What you all have to do, tag name, then style attribute equal to property name, and we have to assign a value to that property by using this colon operator. So in that way we can define a style. So let's get start how we can define it. For example, I want to change the background color, background and the font color of h1 tag. Then I have to write style equals to, inside double quotes, style is an attribute, it belongs to cascading style sheets, to define an inline style. So h1 style equals to color colon, I'll define red. So it will, color property is used to change the color of text. Then if save it and check the output, now you can see the color of the text is changed. So to change the color of text by using attributes in HTML, that is not possible because h1 tag is not having any attribute in HTML. But by using style sheets we can apply any style on the any tag in HTML. So next, color. Next, I want to change the background color of h1 tag. Then if you want to use multiple properties, then as a separator we have to specify semicolon, then next property name, that is background colon, I specify green. So save it. Then the color of that h1 tag is, background color of h1 tag is changed. Then next, in the same way you can also change the color or style of any tag, h3 tag, or if I want to apply the same style on or different style on paragraph tag, then next we are having style color colon blue semicolon background colon yellow. In today's session we'll discuss about only these two property, color and background. But in style sheet CSS supports so many properties, multiple properties, hundreds of properties that we can use in HTML. But we'll discuss all the properties, all common properties in next sessions also. But in present session we'll use only color and background for giving example or demonstration purpose only. So save it and leave it. So in that way you can make change in the style of in the default style of any tag by using these and this property. So if you are using style, if you are defining a CSS style in this way, that kind of style is known as inline style. That means this style will be applied on that particular a tag only. For example, if I'm specifying h1, two h1 tags are here. On first h1 tag we specify a style, we mention a style. On next h1 occurrence we didn't specify any style. So that means an inline style is applied to a particular occurrence of a particular tag only. So that was about how to use inline style. Next we'll discuss about CSS syntax. If you want to define a style inside the style sheet by using style rule, then we have to follow some syntax. We can define a style sheet using style rules that are interpreted by the browser. A style rule consists of the following part. In previous slide we discussed about inline style only. In inline style we are using only property and the value, only this part, property and value, that part is known as declaration of a property only. Property equal to value, that is only declaration. But if you want to use to define a style inside a style sheet, then at that time you have to define a complete style rule. Style, what does that mean? What do you mean by style rule? Style rule means the complete statement to define a style inside the style sheet. So a style rule consists of the following parts. One is selector, next property, then value, then declaration, then rule. In this statement, we'll discuss all about all these parts. For example, first of all, we'll discuss about property. Property means that property, that feature with the help of which we want to change the appearance of a tag, that is known as property. For example, in here color is the property. In previous example we discussed about a background, that was also a property. And next we'll discuss about value. Value means any value that we have assigned to a property using colon operator. That means in here in this statement, red is the value of color property. And assigning a value to some property, that complete statement, this statement is known as declaration. Then next, the tag on which we are going to apply this style inside style sheet, that tag is known as selector. Here we can specify the tag name or a user defined name also by using id or class selector. We'll discuss in next sessions also that what is the difference between a class or id selectors. But that means the selector decides the identification of that style rule. This style will decide on which tag we are going to apply that style. And this portion, this part of that style is known as selector. And the combination of each and everything, that means selector, property, value, complete declaration, is known as style rule. This one is known as style rule. So in next session we discuss in depth about style rules, where we are using style rules, because in present session we have discussed only about inline style. In inline style there is not any selector, no style rule is there, only we are having property and the value by using style as an attribute. But we didn't specify any style rule in present session, we just use inline style. But in next session we'll discuss about uh, another techniques to implement the styles also. So that was all about the present session. So if you're having any kind of doubt, then feel free to contact me. Thank you very much.